Hi, Stephanie. Thank you so much
Hello.
for coming to the Investor Talk. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. And you?
All good, all good. In Italy today, so it's fine. Working, but some kind of holiday in between working and a holiday. But thank you so much for coming. Uh, shall we give an introduction yourself?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Sté Tumba. I'm an investor and entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Sté Tumba Capital, founded in 2016. And we invest and build brand through equity shares or acquisition very recently. So we currently have a portfolio of 17 companies / startups. So it's either we acquired them or we have some shares, and but the main job of our company is not only to finance them, but also to build them up, to scale them up. So that's my forte. My forte is basically marketing.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's start with the geography. Where do you like, where do you prefer to invest?
When I started, it was all around the world because I love traveling. I thought it would be fun until I burn out. So right now, especially now, more in Europe. I like America as well, but in fact, we just acquired 2 brands in America. So very recently, I came back to invest in the US, but my preference would be Europe and Africa in the near future, if I had an opportunity.
So when you say Europe means continent and UK as well?
Yes, yeah, continental Europe and the UK as well, where I live actually. So
I mean, you have a different kind of structure. You don't not only invest in equity, but you also invest in knowledge, acceleration, and also you are pretty much focused on marketing because that's where you come from. When it comes to if you had to invest in full equity, for example, how much do you normally invest?
how much? It's not much about the amount, to be honest. It's also about my skills, what I can bring to it. If I feel like I can bring a lot and it will require a lot of my time, then I would have to gauge whether or not what can I invest. Because if you were to just hire me, I'm quite expensive, especially for time. So basically when we started, the smallest ticket we had was like 5K. Right now we do, I'm not counting acquisition, it doesn't count, I would say 50K.
Okay. And when it comes to accelerating, all right, because you're not only investing, but also accelerating, do you get shares also against your competence, your work?
Or that everything is included in a partnership agreement. That's
Okay.
part of it. When I will never, except if it's a special agreement, I will never ask additional amount of money for my skills. Everything is in there. That's what we negotiate for, because I learned the hard way where from the beginning, you need to be very clear why you're investing and how you're investing and what the plan. So not only you bring the money, but you bring also competencies and obviously skills, and you bring a strategy to scale up. Meaning, like, it's not I give the money and say goodbye, good luck, and please bring me some money in. No. I'm pretty hands-on, and that some people don't really like it. But if you define it from the beginning, or I will just be sitting at your board, or I will be part of your marketing team, or I will be working with your marketing director, it's better. And to be honest, I do prefer to have a say in the marketing strategy.
I mean, you invest early. So what are the top concerns and where do you find your conviction when investing? What do you see the most, the company, team, the product itself?
Mhm. It's a whole package, to be honest. Before, I used to see the product and the how I could scale. But now, today, more and more, you know what? I want to have a peace of mind where I know I can work with someone I trust, that I don't need to babysit. and that I get on with. So those are the most important thing. I look at the person I invest in, and then I look at the product, I look at the figures, I look how I can help, and I look, the projections and obviously where it can go. And what is very important, especially these days, it's what's the exit? What the exit for the founder? What does he want to do or he wants to do, like in the future, sell, or have more products. That as well is very important for me. But I really like to work with really amazing people.
Thank you. I mean, do you meet people face to face, or you can go straight online up to the end, investing your money?
No, I meet them face to face most of the time. Though, saying that, there were a few negotiations that didn't go through. I don't know if it's part unconsciously, it's because of this, but we are negotiating everything online. So, but it didn't work out. For example, but that is an acquisition more. It was everything online because the seller was in the US, but we met on the final stage of the negotiation, but right at the end. But he was an amazing person anyways. I could feel it even through Zoom, but we did meet at the end. I went twice to New York in January to meet him, and then in May to sign the final things.
And after investing, you said you are pretty hands-on, which means you spend a lot of time with your funders. After investing, how many times do you like to meet them?
Depends of the investment I have, but usually it could be anything between once every 2 weeks or once a month. That could be, more or less, because if not, my diary is packed with meetings with funders. I can't do that, like there are like 15 different, if I don't like count the acquisition, like 15 different things, like startups, sorry. I can't. It's already 15 hours gone, and sometimes an hour. Sometimes I spend 2 hours with some of them. Mm-hmm. So I can't meet them every week. That's not possible, or even speak to them every week. Well, yes, 5 minutes. Oh, I have a quick question. Oh, I've noticed this. Okay, but you can't sit 1 hour with everyone. That's every week. I don't know. Some people do that. I don't know how they do that. Or maybe they just, but well done on them. But I personally don't like. I don't do it, and don't like to. My personal life is very important. So that work-life balance, I try to maintain sometimes.
How involved did you get with your portfolio? I mean, you said already, but how do you add value to them?
I suppose my skills and the fact that they can rely, most of them is very important as well, that I say, most of those funders don't have a marketing team in place. Most, not all of them have a marketing team. So basically, I wouldn't say invoicing me, but that's a way for them also to save money in marketing, because everything is outsourced. We do that in my team at Sté Tumba Capital. We deal with that. So that will be my forte for those funders, where they don't have to worry about this part. And obviously the fact that, I have like 15 years of experience in marketing and sales, maybe not marketing, but even unconsciously, when I was 16 selling paintings door to door, I was doing some marketing and sales, in some respects. Of course, it wasn't as structured as today, but still you have to market yourself. Why are you selling those products, like especially door to door? Like you have to put the flyers. I'm going in your area between this time and this time, so check it out. Be sure you're at home so I can sell my paintings from nobody. But so I've been in that field forever, so I know what is street marketing and real corporate marketing through L'Oreal or LVMH.
I mean, in terms of investing, do you syndicate with others?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I can't take the whole decision. Obviously, there are times where I take the final decision on my own, but I would always ask around and work with my team to really, decide whether or not I want to invest in someone and a product.
As you work in very early, and let's say the startup you invested, they want to scale up, they need more money. Are you going to introduce them to your network of investors?
Yes, if I feel like there's some potential and someone is searching for such startup or anything, I always, when I feel like something is good, but maybe not for me for X, Y, Z reasons, in my network, I talk about them. Yes, of course. It happened even very recently where that person is searching for some investor in the fashion industry, but I, as far as I'm concerned today, I want to invest in sustainable fashion. So I did speak about it to a couple of people around me, and for the moment, it's a little bit quiet right now, so it's a no. But I also told him, yeah, if you heard about a sustainable fashion brand, just let me know, because that's one of the things I want to invest in, Horizon 2023. Because of my network right now. And so, yeah, of course, we help each other. Even in between investors, as I just said, I tell some of my colleagues and during networking, I'm searching for such investment right now.
You invest mainly in marketing, branding, so you have a pretty clear portfolio. Should there some interaction between them?
Yes and no. They can have the same partner. I have like a very good example in that respect. In fact, we work with a lot of magazines and we do competition where you can you can win a prize. So yes, they would work with the same magazine, but for the moment, as far as I recall, at least, no, they're not interacting in between the companies. Yeah, I don't see how. I try to think like, yeah, how come? In fact, now you're questioning myself, how come they're not interacting? So I try to think, but no. At least I can't remember.
Thank you. I mean, what's your advice to founders when it comes to pivoting? Many of them, they really believe pivoting is a kind of failure. Should they pivot?
They need to understand why it's not working, where in the business model is, there's so many companies, and you and I can, tell they're just too early or maybe even too late. But most of the time they're too early, or there's just a little tweak that is necessary to their business model to change, or it just there's no need and they're just living in la la land. I don't know. But like when it comes to a business model, most of the time it's just a timing and it's just something that needs tweaking, and they need to listen to the feedback they have. Like Canva, when you think about it, we all know Canva today. Yeah, it's successful, we love using it, but they exist for 15, 16 years and they struggle for 10 years ish just to be, but they were just too early. But she persevered. She was there. Her name was heard so many times that people are, okay, let's listen to her now, because it's been 10 times or 100 times that I hear her name. So sometimes you're too early. You need to persevere and know why. And sometimes, it's just a little tweak. Listen to the people that, that use your product or the services. Why they're not quite, satisfied. Why is they not, renewing the service or buying, purchasing again. There's always slight little things. I have brands ourselves that, needed tweak as well, but we didn't see it until sometimes the pandemic as well, and it's just because you have to be open to change your product. If you're not open as a founder to change your product, well, don't start, because you might,
I mean, that's a very good tip for the founders that will be watching our interview. Why did you become an investor?
Well, my story is quite special. It's just because I had I'm a marketer, worked for most of my life in marketing until I met that woman that asked me to help her out to invest in luxury goods, in fashion and beauty products, because she thought I had the marketing vibe that I could help her pick the right product, because she did prefer someone with a marketing slash luxury good beauty background than a financer. And because I have a minor in finance, she said, anyways, I'm sure you'll be okay. So I accepted the job. And then a couple of months later, she said, wow, you're not too bad. You should do that for yourself. And obviously at the time well, Marie, you're investing millions. I don't have millions. Sorry. We're not playing in the same playground yet. But you can invest even with little. And we're like, really? And that's when I start searching and I discovered all those platforms that today I don't really use, but online where you can even invest £10. I'm like, wow, and I thought, yeah, why not? And I started little like that and started networking. And that's how I started. But you would have asked me 10 years earlier, I would have, no, in 10 years, I see myself as the CEO of L'Oreal. That's what I would have told you, like investor? No.
But you like it now.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. I wouldn't change for anything, and right now we're changing the process, we're automating everything. So yeah, no, I looking forward for the next couple of years, to be honest.
I mean, let's say you have three founders, pretty similar. Which are the critical points that ultimately will tell you, okay, I want to invest in this guy and not the other one, where pretty much they're all the same?
Like when you say the same, you mean the same product?
Let's say same product, but also pretty similar. Even, I mean, of course, you can be similar in terms of who you are, your soft skills, but let's say the hard part is pretty there. So what is going to make the difference for you in terms a big-headed founder or a founder more willing to listen than others?
I like someone in between. I don't like someone that says yes to everything, because it doesn't challenge you and you're not questioning your strategy, because, I'm a marketer. I don't only bring the money. So you need someone to question what you're doing all the time, even though my team does. But for an external point of view, it's very important. So for me, someone that question what I do and challenge me a little bit is always good. But someone that is stubborn and doesn't want to listen to anything, it's a no as well. I had that and it didn't end well. So, but I'm really analytical, and I play with energy and things like that. So sometimes, firstly, their team, who is the team that I would meet normally? And then them, how do they behave? What does their body language say about them? Do they look me in the eyes? Don't, what is their lifestyle? What is their backstory as well? But you said they're pretty similar, but I like to know their backstory. Why is they doing this? And analyze, where do they want to go? What's the exit strategy? And all those things are pretty important to me. So I think that's where I would do the difference. And as I said, the team, if you wanted something like is more an example external to themselves, I think their team would be important to me. The team, the background, how they're related, that would be important.
I mean, what is, if can be any, a great pitch to convince you?
A great pitch to convince me that I myself need the product. And I am needed, and that I myself need the product. Like the ideal is like I read, the pitch, and I'm like, what is this? I'm curious, and that I don't even know what it is, or I sort of have an idea, and then they convince me that I need the product, and that I think that is excellent. Like, I'm coming from a place of not knowing, and then I'm like, wow, I want the product myself, and more importantly, I love listening pitch where, bam, I have ideas, marketing ideas straight away. That is a good sign for me. Like, I'm like already seeing what will work. That is the best in terms of why I would invest.
I mean, in terms of approaching angels like you, What can be for the founders the best way?
I'm really approaching LinkedIn, but the approach I don't like, it's the sneaky approach that I had sometimes. Now, because I also used to coach, but a limited amount of funders. And some funders searching for funds would contact me and pretend they need one of my products or services to get access to me. It's a no-no. Even if the company is nice and the product is nice, it's a no-no. I would prefer a direct approach, networking, even, Instagram or any sort of things that you can to approach me. I personally do several things. I do my solo. There's also, as you know, the UK BAA, which is a group of business angels. We work together, we invest together. So my portfolio is varied, and the sort of investment is varied. But I would advise them, especially funders, to contact UK BAA. That's the best, because themselves have a network of other, group of business angel. So that gives you access to everything, and equity match.
Exactly. They can use it with the match, of course, yes.
As well. Yeah, I recommend it to people actually.
They had to. What about IP? It is important in your investments that the intellectual property belongs to the founders.
Yes, it's quite important, but then it depends what sort of IP are we talking about, who owns it, and can it be bought by or not? How is the structure? Usually, I'm not a big fan of messy structures at all, where you have to contact someone for this, someone external in the US for that, someone in Africa for this. I don't really like that. I like things that are organized, because it seemed very messy and it looked like the funder was desperate to work with people wherever they are. And then you have a messy company with messy things with different time zones. I don't really like that. So IP, generally, I would prefer them to belong to the funder. In fact, I don't understand why they don't sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes happen. They actually
Yeah, it does.
do
Yeah.
they do not have it. Uh, in fashion, branding, marketing, where do you see the trend going? Where do you see for the years to come the money go in this sector? More related to technology, more related to, I don't know, branding, design?
Yeah, there's a few things that we need to follow up in terms of what's going on in the world right now. I think we're going firstly to live in a world more and more sustainable, where people will look more and more how to improve their lives in a sustainable way and in a more societal and fair way. So that will be looked upon more and more, especially generation A and Z. That is going to be very, very important. When it comes to trends, I firmly believe that we will be coming to a point where we'll be looking at self-employed people as rather employed people. I don't feel like people will be attached to companies anymore. I think they will be attached by contract and in a self-employed way, rather than to the way that it is now. It's already happening in a way or another. So I think we're going to live in a world that is more like this and nomad, where people will be living in the US but working for a French company as well. When it comes to trends, if you want to talk to general trends, I think it will be more this, more and more. And I think even the big brands will have to have a sustainable department and a sustainable person to deal with sustainable product. I'm pretty sure even Louis Vuitton at some point they will take back the secondhand luggage. They will buy them back from their customer and sell them on their own website. That is going to happen pretty soon as well. They all have to do something in a sustainable way, and companies will try to do that as well. So I think those are the big trends that coming up now. And when it comes to crypto and NFT and everything like that, I think there will be more on the market, and we will be more living in mini like a meta world where you can use all those cryptocurrency depending on the platform you're using. So I think the world is really changing right now in a really sustainable way, and in a really deep and societal way.
would you invest in no sustainable companies?
Yes, if they have sustainable, yeah, I just did. I will if they have sustainable plans. Or
Okay.
if I see sustainable plans happening, and that's what I saw in that company, that I saw a sustainable way for the future that nobody for the moment does, and we're working on that. So yeah, of course I would.
Stephanie, thank you so much for coming to the Investor Talk. It's been a very good pleasure for me.
My pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for inviting me.